Hello, I just thought I'd do a quick guide on crew skills for comp and kind of randoms. I'll just go over some of the main tanks that use in advances, so 60p, i7, etc. So let's get started. So 60p first. Obviously, BIA repairs, recon, emergency, practicality is basically I would use on every tank. Then it's kind of up to you. Obviously, don't use camo. It's between coordination and mental. You can use this if it's like onslaught, I guess. It's like good on onslaught, but I wouldn't use that. Maybe randoms you could use it, but I would use coordination or mental. Personally, for me, I'm going to use coordination just for the aiming speed buff. But I mean, I think I take mental on some tanks. For example, 260, I would take it. Um, Obviously, bonus perks are always situational awareness and firefighting, and then it's side by side for heavy tanks for sure, because you're always going to be probably around some other tank. For the gunner, again, BIA repairs, obviously, snapshot. I would personally use armorer. It does increase your accuracy, as you can see, by 0.01, which is, it's not bad. And obviously, at 6p, you need all the accuracy you can. Now, for me, it's either quick aiming or dead eye. For this next skill, I mean, obviously, I have one more, so I'd probably take dead eye. You could argue you could maybe take designated target, but I don't think it's good, especially for heavy tanks. So it's either dead eye or concentration, but I wouldn't use it myself. Just because I don't think you're ever going to be stopping for 3 seconds in this tank. Driver, obviously BIA repairs, smooth ride, off-road driving, and now it's kind of between engineer and clutch braking. I'm going to take engineer because just going 1 kilometer an hour faster and backwards, I think is quite nice, especially the reverse speed. And if you're going down a hill, you can use that one extra. And obviously, if you get a damaged engine, it reduces it by 20%, which is always nice. My next skill, it's probably clutch braking, but you could technically take controlled impact, maybe, but I would take controlled the braking one. Again, gonna BA repairs, situational intuition, sorry, for sure. Safe stowage for sure, because this tank gets ammo racked a lot. You could maybe not take safe stowage if you're going to run experimental HP. If you're going to use experimental HP, probably don't need safe stowage, but it's up to you. Now I'm going to take ammo tuning just because it is just buffing your DPM and on average your alpha damage. Along with armorer, you should be rolling quite well in this tank now. Um, so I think that's quite powerful. Next, it kind of can be anything. You can take close combat. I think that's always good. Does improve your reload by like 0.5, which is always nice. But you can also go for adrenaline rush. That helps like by 1%. After you get to 25% health, which is what 1.5, so 750. A bit more because I think you have like 3080, so like I don't know 770, let's say. So if you are technically a one like just above a one shot for 60p, and now you reload, you know 5% faster, right? Which is always nice. But you can also take perfect charge. So all these three options works. If you have another slot because you take experimental HP, you can choose another one. So that's it for 60TP. Right. Next, obviously, next is BZ. Again, BI repairs, recon, situational awareness, practicality. Again, it's a choice between coordination or mental. I'm gonna take coordination just because I like the aiming speed buff, but mental is probably the more consistent one. I probably just so you don't care about your crew dying, but I think taking concentration is fine. Again, radio operator bonuses are just always situational awareness, firefighting, and side by side. Um, Like in Onslaught, you could maybe take jamming just so you have like what 3 seconds in between, but like yeah, I probably take side by side. It's probably better. Again, because the gun accuracy is kind of bad, I'm gonna take armor to improve it by a little bit. 0.01, always nice. Again, I'm gonna take quick aiming because the gun is not great. I'm gonna take Deadeye because the crit hits with BZ and 60p is always nice to have. Again, you could take this, but you're in a BZ, you're never gonna stop still for 3 seconds, I think. Driver, again, BIA repairs, smooth ride. Engineering is quite helpful in this tank because you have obviously the rockets, so you will hit this. You will go 58 always, which is always nice. I mean, nearly 50, 59, which is always nice. Next is off-road driving, just to help with turning speed when you don't have any boosters. Then it's either controlled impact or clutch braking. I think either works. And what is that difference? I mean, it's 3. It's not bad. For me, I think I will take clutch braking. I think. But controlled impact is perfectly fine as well. Again, Gunner, obviously PI repairs, intuition because you have AP and heat and HE. Again, safe stowage. Again, you could take what's it called? Experimental HP and maybe drop the safe stowage, but I don't know. I think it's quite risky not to take it. Again, ammo tuning just to increase the alpha by 9, always nice. And then again, now it's just a choice between these 3. I think all are fine. But I will take close combat because I'm thinking cliff, mines. There's not really any other real maps where you use BZ. I mean, people are starting to use it on Live Oaks now, and I guess you use it on Himmel. But I think close combat is probably the best. Adrenaline Rush is probably the next pick. Perfect Charge, I don't think makes sense really for this tank. So that is the BZ. Right, now 260. Again, BI repairs, recon, practicality, emergency. I take Mentor on this because your driver dies all the time in 260, so it's always nice to have that reduced. You don't need coordination IMO for this. Your gun is always already not quite nice, especially in randoms. If you're using stabs for whatever reason on 260, you definitely won't need this. You could argue sound detection if you're really hating artilleries that much, but I think Mentor is just overall the best. Again, just the same as always, situational awareness, firefighting and side by side for a 260. Gunner, same again, basically. I'm hoping you're starting to see a pattern. Again, it's probably just these 2. Again, I don't think you need either of these. You could technically drop the quick aiming for maybe designated target, and like maybe, I mean, no, you don't need that. Like you could maybe even take camo just so you could do the like the bug or whatever it was with like you take one crew member with camo and use the directive for camo, but I don't think anyone's using that on 260. Driver again, it's kind of just the same thing as always with these 5 skills. So BIA repairs, smooth ride, engineer, off-road driving. Now it's again, it's a choice between controlled impact and clutch braking. I think I will take this. I think maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, I'm thinking like cliff right now with 260s with the ramming. If you're going ball, I think either works, honestly. It's kind of just up to you if you want some more traverse speed. But I'm going to take controlled impact. I'm really not sure. I think I will take controlled impact. Loader, again, it's just the same fucking skills again. At least these 4. I would always take safe stowage on a 260 IMO. Always take intuition because you have APCR and heat, and HE is, it's always nice. And now it's a choice between close combat and ammo tuning IMO. I mean, I have 2 skills left. You could take this. 25% of your hit points is about 600, I think. Quick math. You have like 2.4k health, nearly 2.5 with bond HP. So 1200, 600. So if you're fighting other 260s, like you will get a faster shot off. But I will take ammo tuning. I just like ammo tuning. I think it's just one of the best skills. Just increasing alpha damage by a bit more, so you low roll even less. Is just why not? Why not would you take it? And I'm just going to take close combat again because you're normally in close combat with the 260. Again, if you take adrenaline rush over one of these skills, I think it's fine. I just like ammo tuning and close combat, but you could swap these around like this if you wanted. But I think, yeah, this is more like specialized if you're gonna lose health, and this is more like it will just be close range. So, like, why would you not take that? Right, on to CS. Okay, Nano 7. I would take camo on this. I think it's just worth to take camo on basically every medium tank, just so you're not, well, just really easy to see. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, I think this is for if you have full crew skill. So going camo with 28 while moving is pretty good, I would say. Again, I hope you're seeing a pattern here. I like your driver, your crew doesn't really get knocked out that much, and coordination I don't think you will ever need. Again, it's the same side by side is very helpful because normally you're in a pack of 9-0s, and if you're all boosting each other, very nice, right? Very nice. I mean, it's not much, your reload goes down by 0.05, but I don't think anything else is better here. Like, I would maybe say jamming, but I don't think it's worth it. You kind of want DPM on your 9-0. I think this is a choice between quick aiming and Deadeye. I don't know which one would be better overall. Like, I would say for advances, Deadeye, I mean, I think Deadeye is probably better overall. I know it's only 3%, but it does help, for sure, I think. Especially if you shoot someone in an engine twice, an i7 or a 260, you normally set them on fire, right? So I think it's worth it. Smooth ride again, obviously. I'm more like I'm thinking of a 9-0 when I'm over pushing Proco mid right now. That's what I'm thinking of using 9-0s. And Sand River, I guess. Can't think of any of the maps. Mali, Mali as well. Yeah, so off-road driving obviously helps. I would take engineer. It does not need clutch braking. It turns so ridiculously fast already. 57. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, controlled impact you could maybe take, but I don't think it's worth it. When are you ramming things in a 9-0? Obviously these three again, intuition because you have APCR and heat. Safe stowage. Wouldn't take ammo tuning because it increases it by 4. It's not that much, is it? Doesn't even. Must be in the fucking 0.01 difference. Yeah, so I would take close combat. As you can see by this, like it does increase your reload. You could take this. You could take adrenaline rush instead. I think that's fine. I'm just gonna take close combat because you normally are 50 meters to your enemies when you're taking 9-0s. So I think close combat is the best. But adrenaline rush is definitely a very close second. Yeah, I think that's that. Right, on to E100. Again, just the same, as always. I would take mental. I think the gun's good enough where you don't need coordination. But if you want to take coordination instead of mental, you definitely can. There's no problems with that. Again, Same thing on the gunner. As I said, I really hope you're seeing a pattern here. By now. Now it's kind of a choice. I would take quick aiming and deadeye. I think they're probably the best skills right now. Like, you're not gonna really stay still in a E100 for 3 seconds. To make use of the skill, especially in comp. Like, you're only going to be using E100 on basically Himmel. That's really it. There's an A target you're never going to use in your life, so yeah, it's only the only options really. Smooth ride again. These two are just no brainer, obviously. Engineer, I think you will just take engineer. Just so you can go 1 kilometer an hour faster. Like, I do think the reverse speed is also quite nice to have. I do think you get up to top speed on hard terrain, which is Himmel, right? So you should be fine. I would take off-road driving for randoms. Definitely, just you're not always going to be in a city in random, so it's always nice to have better ground resistances, so you can go faster. Especially if you, God forbid, you get Mally, and you're forced to go hill, really. So it's always nice to have. I would probably take clutch braking. I don't think you will need controlled impact on any 100. People shouldn't really be ramming you, and if the people are ramming you, they're probably at 60 dp at close range, I would guess. And maybe that's helpful to get the chip damage in, but I think you want to turn faster overall. So I'm going to take clutch braking. Again, always the same skills on the radio operator. I would take side by side. Yeah, and now it's quite hard. I don't think you're ever gonna assist that much damage. Don't think you'll like if you're on Himmel, which you will always be in comp. Like, you will never need this. You will know when you're spotted. So like maybe for randoms, maybe. But I'm gonna take jamming. I think being spotted for 1 second less, it's kind of nice. It is kind of nice to not be spotted for that additional second. So I think it's good to take. Again, BIA repairs safe stowage. You might not even need to take safe stowage. I'm going to take safe stowage on one of my gunners, loaders, sorry, just so I have 12%. Where is it? It says 33, but that will go down after I select my other gunner. Now I'm going to take ammo tuning. If you're playing E100 and randoms, I would take intuition. But for comp, I would not take intuition. You do not need it. You'll be firing full APCR anyway. Then if you're a free-to-play player, intuition is probably always helpful. But if you're playing comp, you're not normally a free-to-play player. So probably don't need that. Again, close combat, always good. Yeah, you're gonna be close range with any 100 most of the time. Then I would probably take a adrenaline rush. Because you have 3,000 hit points. Yeah, basically, right? So I mean, that's 1,500, right? I mean, yeah, say 1,500, 750. So you're gonna be, very close. You're gonna be above a one shot for a 60 DP or anything with 750, and you reload faster. Definitely worth it, IMO. Again, I'm gonna take the same ones basically. I'll take them in a good order, I guess. So I'm not taking safe stowage. I mean, technically you could, because there's nothing really else to get. I mean, technically you could have intuition, one intuition, maybe, just so you can reload HE faster. Ammo tuning again, because just having 7 more alpha damage, I think, is always just nice. It's always just nice to have more alpha. And you low roll less with a combination of armor again, so it's nice. Close combat again, obviously, and then it's kind of up to you. Like, if you do not take in adrenaline rush again, where is it? So I have 3.5. If I take it again, now I have 3.9. Insane. That's fucking insane. You know? You're literally dropping us nearly 0.8 seconds off your reload. It's fucking mental. So you always need to take double adrenaline rush on tanks that have double loader. Yeah, so very nice. Yeah, on to the next tank. Right, EBRs. This is a bit more difficult, I think, on some of the crews. But these are pretty standard, I think. You will never, you should not be being shot by artillery, very rarely, even in randoms. Coordination, I think the gun is fine, that you don't need it. But, you could take it instead of, probably practicality, I guess. But I think just having these two is just nice. When you get shot, you can get a bit more view range to maybe see the person. I don't know. But yeah. Obviously, intuition, you need it on EBR. Don't need safe stowage. I would take ammo tuning just so you have more alpha. I just think it's one of the best skills to have. I mean, it's only 5, so you might not want to take it, but I just don't see why you wouldn't want 5 more alpha for free, really. Now it becomes a bit more difficult. Close combat, you're rarely at 50 meters. I mean, maybe when you're circling a thing, maybe. Don't need this. Adrenaline rush, I mean, it activates at 300 hit points. If you take a shot with HE from a 60p, I guess it will activate. So that's probably what I'm leaning towards. But you could also take close combat instead. You could maybe do this, maybe. But I don't think you'll need perfect charge, really. I think your HE is fine. Your APSO is definitely fine. Your HE is fine. Snapshot, obviously. This again, why would you just not want a more accurate gun? And you low roll less. Now it's up to you. I would probably take designated target on an EBR. You could also drop snapshot as well. For it, I think this is probably I would probably go that and then to the snapshot. But yeah, I mean, you could take that eye. You could. I wouldn't take quick aiming. I think snapshot's just better. But so that is what we'll take. Driver. I would take smooth ride, as always. I would take off-road driving, as always. The last skill is kind of up to you. You can take controlled impact if you're going to ram EBRs. And maybe other things, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then it's kind of up to you. You could take engineer just to go faster. So you go 94. It's quite funny that it goes up to 93 because of because of BIA and stuff. It's quite funny. And the reverse speed is kind of nice. I mean, if I didn't take the field mode, I'd be going back at 66, which is not bad at all, and 50 in that mode. So I probably would take engineer over controlled impact, but especially because the way I've set up my EBR, I have the field mods that reduce ramming damage to me, so I don't need to take this, I don't think. But I mean, obviously, I will be rammed by something that does. I mean, it's 20%, right? 25% more. So it's up to you. You could even take this as well, so you take less HE damage. It's only 10% though, so 70. 75, sorry, if a 60 dB hits you, which is not really much, is it? It would be more about EBRs hitting you. So an EBR would hit you for 450. So, I mean, he still kills you in 3 shots. Just though, right? 900. Technically, he might. If he low rolls 1 shot, he doesn't kill you from HE. That's right, yeah. Yeah. If he lowers one shot, an EBR won't kill you in 3 shots with HE. So you could do that instead. But I just think going fast is pretty cool. Obviously, situational awareness, 5-harding. I would take jamming. It could be an argument for signal interception. But I wouldn't take it. I think normally in EBR you kind of know when you're going to be spotted, other than like when you're going through bush lines on like Brocco. You will know 0.5% faster. I mean, maybe it's a bit more with all BIA and food applied to it. Maybe it's closer to a second, but the enemy team still have 2 seconds to aim at you when you're like going slow. So I still think you're dead. And I'd rather just get spotted 1 second later or 1 second shorter. So that's what I would take. Yeah, on to the next. Right, on to CS. Again, this time, because it's a medium tank, I'm going to take camo. And practicality, engineering, repair. You'd like if you want to drop something for mentor, you could drop something for coordination, especially if you're going for like DPGs and randoms. You could maybe take coordination, but I think this is always just like you need camo on the CS, just so you can play in some bushes and stuff. Like if you don't have a lot of crew skills, I would probably just take these 3 and then recon and then these 2 afterwards. I mean, I like in this order. I mean, I always do it in order of what I think is the most useful skill. Again, situational awareness, 5-hiding, side by side. You could replace side by side with jamming. I think that's like a decent pick. Especially for onslaught, you could definitely take jamming. But like you're just boosting your tank by 2.5%, you know, and you're making your reload better by 0.01, 0.1, I think, ish. So like I think it's fine. Again, camo, snapshot, quick aiming, making your gun better. Like why would you not take this? I mean, it's not hard buff, especially as I'm managing it with one of my field mods, but I think it's just worth it, and I think it's just better than all the other skills. You could just drop something for Deadeye, but I think this is just better. It's just making your aiming time better. If you're playing it only in Onslaught, then I'd probably change it like that. Maybe. I mean, Onslaught, I don't know. You have so many things stopping things from being knocked out. I think maybe probably just having aiming time is better. Driver, again, is just the same. Technically, you don't need engineer. Like you might not want to take it because you're already so fast anyway. I just think for cliff and mines and some positions, you just want to be as fast as possible so you can get into them positions. Maybe even Westfield cross if you're going K line or to K0 from both sides. Why not just be faster? So I think it's just a good pick. Again, you could take controlled impact. I think it's definitely a pick on CS. What would I drop? Probably engineer for this. I don't think I'd drop anything else. You could maybe drop smooth ride if you're playing in randoms and have stabs. You could remove the smooth ride for this, but I think that is the best. Again, yeah. So again, we're using these 4 for sure. Now it gets a bit more difficult now. If you're playing for randoms, I would take intuition just so you have HE, so you can hit chip-ons and grills, and I mean right now there's Waffentraggers in the game, so I would take intuition if you're playing randoms. If you're playing comp only, I would not take intuition. because you're gonna be firing full APCR anyway. The only time you're gonna load HE is to reset a base with HE, or maybe you're blind firing an EBR, but like APCR is perfectly fine for doing that. There's nothing really you can pen HE on that is played in comp other than light tanks, and I think you want the APCR for the shell velocity. So technically you don't need intuition on CS. For comp, I would take ammo tuning just because I just like it's just making your DPM better. Um, by 500 is nothing to be I don't know what the word is, but that's a decent amount of DPM. That is basically having a rammer, right? It's very weird increasing DPM by that much. It's insane. So I just think hammer tuning is the best. Next for the CS, it's probably close combat, just because you're fighting on hill, on cliff. Mines again. If it's like a specific position, you probably don't need it. Like if I don't know, you're playing it on Live Oak South, to replace the EBR, you probably don't need it. You can probably replace it with something else, probably Adrenaline Rush. Because what, 500 hit points and you will get it. I think it's even more, right? You have 2.2, so that's like 1100, so 650-ish, right? If you have Bond HP, which is quite a lot of hit points you still have left, but I would just click Close Combat. Right, next is I7. Again, I'm going to kind of quickly go through this because it's very similar to a 260. Again, Mentor or Concentration is your two picks. I'm going to take Mentor because I think the driver dies quite a bit on an I7, but Coordination is perfectly fine to take. Again, all these are very normal. You need aiming time because your gun is shit. Armor is just helpful to have better rolls and helps when your gun gets damaged, which it can in an i7 because you might be gun blocking, especially 60ps. So yeah, and then Deadeye because there's nothing really better to take. Driver, again, just kind of the same. Again, it's a choice between clutch braking and controlled impact. I think controlled braking on i7 because it is quite slow in turning. Where is it? 30, turning up to like basically 40 is quite nice. But if you take controlled impact, I mean, if you're doing some RAM build for randoms, definitely take controlled impact, obviously. First loader, save stowage, obviously. If you're playing randoms, again, I would take intuition. If you're just playing it for comp, I would not take intuition because you're firing full AP0 anyway. Obviously ammo tuning just to get more alpha. Obviously this is both. This is kind of a bug. It doesn't show, but if I select it, yeah, there you go. So if you only take one, it goes up by 3, which is not worth it. Close combat, you obviously want to take, and then it's Adrenaline Rush. Like again, you just don't need intuition. Your APCR is fine, where I don't think you will ever need this. And like I really think that just not a good skill for most tanks. Maybe like BKK and anything sniping, maybe. Again, these are just the same skills as I put on the other one. So you boost them up to 100% effectiveness because it averages out over your two crew. Like, if for some reason you just don't want to, I probably would take intuition just so you can intuition HE resets, maybe for comp, but yeah, I don't think there's anything else I would take. Again, same as always on the loader. I hope we've gotten used to this now. Yeah, on to the next tank. I thought I'd do some TDs, or probably just this one really. Again, basically the same on Commander. You could drop something for coordination. I think that's quite good, honestly. But I think these are just better overall. maybe could not take practicality, I guess, because you're probably not going to be shot that much, and when you do get spotted, you don't get shot all the time. So you could drop it and take coordination. I think that does sound pretty good, actually. You're not really going to use your consumables much in a Strv. So I think that's fine. But I still think if you wanted to take something else other than coordination, I would take practicality. I'm not 100% sure, actually, if it's just spotted overall. Because it's spotted by you, right? It just says when an enemy vehicle is spotted, so I guess it's not spotted by you, I guess. Yeah, gunner, upward driving, I think engineer again. You just want to go fast to where you're meant to go, right? Like you want to get to, I don't know, if you're going K5 on cliff, you just want to be there as fast as you can. I don't know, maybe Mali as well. You want to move somewhere quickly. Smoother ride is pointless for Strv because you're always going to be sitting still anyway. So, no, it doesn't really matter. Probably clutch braking afterwards, I guess, so you turn a bit faster, turning your armor towards the enemy and stuff. Controlled impact's pointless because, like, if you're ramming in a Strv, they're already on you and you're dead. So, yeah, don't think that's worth it. Snapshot. I would take snapshot. I think it's fine. Armorer. I think I would as well, just to increase your low rolls or decrease your low rolls. And then it's probably concentration because you're sitting still anyway. So maybe you drop snapshot in that case, I guess. But did I? Or designate a target? Probably did I. I could see that these three really. I would like to see the difference between concentration and snapshot and concentration and deadeye. But I think I'm gonna take deadeye just so I can damage people's modules. Yeah, for this it's just the same as always. If for some reason you have like double Strv somewhere, then probably side by side, but I think jamming is probably the best because you want to be unspotted as quickly as you can in a Strv so you can move and just live for a bit longer. Again, you could make an argument for single signal interception, but I think you'll know when you're spotted in a Strv anyway, really. And I don't think that 0.7 seconds will make that much of a difference. Probably ammo tuning, probably adrenaline rush. Don't think you get ammo in a Strv that often. Intuition, you're firing full gold anyway. I don't think you ever fire HE in a Strv, ever really. So probably that. Close combat, no. We should not be in 50 meters with a Strv. Probably shell velocity, honestly. I would like to see the difference. 12%. Let's do some maths, shall we? I don't know if that's with the. So what? 12% of that is 50% is, let's just say 700, 350, and then 175. Yeah, 175. So it's more than your standard APCR. I think that's more than fine, honestly. For the Strv. Let's go to Hori. Right, on to Hori. Again, I think it's very standard. So just reading about this. Effect activates each time an enemy vehicle is spotted and does not stack. So I think like you could drop something for concentration for sure. Again, it would be probably be practicality. Because you shouldn't really be getting shot that often in a hurry. It's normally like you're spotted once and you're either dead or you survive and you're using a small repair kit and you repair everything. So I think concentration is probably better. Snapshot again, armorer. I think it's a very good skill now. And now it's probably either quick aiming or deadeye. You could technically do designated target as well, probably. But I think I'm going to take quick aiming just so my shot's always quicker at aiming. Don't really care about doing module damage, it's more about hitting the shot, right? Smooth ride engineer, again, I think you just want to go faster in a hurry. I think you do hit your top speed in the hurry pretty effectively, and off-roading will help with that, with doing that on rough terrain. And also like minuses 1, so now I only have -1 reverse speed. For I think one of the field mods. I forgot what it does in return. Yeah, I forgot. Anyway, firefighting again, jamming. I don't think you'd be using side by side. I think the only times you use a Hori is on fishermen's, really, and live oaks. Live oaks, like live oaks south on the house, and maybe north, I guess as well. I mean, from south you're next to a 279 normally, so maybe side by side is worth it. But I'm gonna take jamming instead because most of the time you're by yourself, especially for randoms. I think jamming is probably better. Again, intuition is a maybe. I think it depends if you want to take safe stowage. I think I don't know how often this tank gets Amarak that often. I did play it with safe stowage in randoms when I marked it, but I probably won't take it. Intuition again, it's like, will you be firing HG at anything? Or wanting to switch instantly? It's only like an EBR I can think of. Really? That you would do that for? So I don't think intuition's worth it. If you're a free-to-play player, then probably intuition is what you would pick. But yeah, obviously ammo tuning, eight more damages, I think is pretty good. I would say. I would take perfect charge as well, just so you have more shell velocity. And then I'd probably take adrenaline rush. Shouldn't need close combat, really. You should not be at 50 meters really to the enemies. I'm unsure about not taking safe stowage, but I think it's probably fine. Again, ammo tuning, safe charge, and adrenaline rush. If for some reason you find yourself getting ammo-racked a lot, then I would drop adrenaline rush. I'd probably drop 1 adrenaline rush for a safe stowage, so you have 12%. But yeah, that is Hori. Right, this is for Foch. This would probably be for 50B as well. I don't think I'll do the 50B just to kind of keep the video short as I can. But yeah, same again. I would take coordination. Your crew doesn't really get knocked out in a Foch that much, I would say. So I think coordination is probably the best. Because I mean, on cliff, your aiming time will be quicker when you're bottom side on south, and you aim up at the hill and a CS gets spotted. Your aiming time will just be better, and I don't see why you would not take that. Again, same as always. Again, it's a mix between jamming and safe side by side. I would take side by side because you're normally next to something in a Foch, which is normally another Foch. I mean, the Foch is only really used on cliff anyway. So I don't think you really need jamming, but you could take jamming if you really wanted to. I'm not taking camo on the Foch. I don't think it's really needed. You could take camo, like you could take camo over maybe practicality, maybe. But I don't think it's really needed for randoms, maybe, but I don't think so for comp, really. It could be okay, so you don't get spotted from mid on cliff, for example, but it should be okay, I think. I'm going to take armor again, so I have less chance to roll for 300. I don't roll for 300, I think, with this, if I understood it correctly. I would take aiming speed, because, I mean, you just want to be better at aiming when you're in a Foch. I think after the buffs, you maybe don't need this, actually. So maybe you take concentration instead, because like the aiming time should be good enough already, especially if you're running vents and with what's it called, coordination. I don't think you need aiming time really. So I will take this. Probably for 50B, I probably would not have concentration though. I would take the other one. Again, safe stowage, smooth ride. Sorry, the fuck am I talking about? Off-road driving, I think, is just always good to have. Engineering is always, again, good to have. And then I'd probably take clutch braking, so if something tries to circle you, you can shoot them back. Don't think you need controlled impact. Don't think you'll need this. You could maybe take camo instead of clutch braking here. Obviously, this is not 30%. This is lying to you. If I just do that, yeah, it's only 21%, right? And oh, fuck. I mean, it's 4%, so like you could definitely take it. I think. Just so I have 20%. It's not bad. But I think this Foch is more of a kind of close range kind of thing anyway. So I don't think you need camo. Intuition is pointless. Ammo tuning, getting 5 more alpha, I think is always worth it. I mean, well, your alpha damage goes, well, your clip potential goes up by what, 30? Yeah, 30, right? Which is, I mean, it's not much, but I mean, it takes away a failed mod, I guess, from a heavy tank. Um, hmm. Choices. I mean, I would take such though just to be safe. Um, and then like adrenaline rush might be good. And what, you have 2,000 hit points, so 1,500. I mean, you can take a one shot from a 260 or an IS-7 still. Um, so that's fine, I think. Then it's either shell velocity for when you're shooting up a hill, but I think the shell velocity on this tank's already fine. Pretty sure. 1.3. I mean, you could argue shell velocity is fine. It's either these two, really. You could even take camo here just to have that little bit of extra help. Close combat. I mean, and you're gonna be reloading. You're not gonna be in a fight while you're reloading. So I don't think close combat's good. Bet we'll take a camo. I don't think you need perfect. I'm gonna take a camo just to help it a little bit, so I can sit on lower side on cliff and have a little bit of camo extra. I don't think you need the shell velocity for that either. So yeah, that's it for. I mean, I'll quickly show you the 50B crew. I have put the controlled impact on this, but again, you could put clutch braking on it instead. I put jamming on it here. Anything else special? Yeah, no concentration. I put quick aiming instead, and I probably would change mentor. Let's quickly change it. Oh shit! There we go. I would take mentor off for coordination, because I mean, I don't think your crew really dies in your 50B that often, so I think it's fine. But yeah, I think that's every tank done. Or like a different class of tank done. So I shall end the video there. I'd like to thank you for watching. And I'll just do a quick kind of shout out. Like, thanks to people for watching. I mean, I think we have 1.9k subs right now, which is a lot more than I thought I would get when I started uploading. Like a year ago now. I think I started uploading last year in November. So yeah, big thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.